Good day, everybody. I'm Dr. Darryl Wolf, and this is called DocStar TV. And today, my one-a-day is this, okay? All right, we're going to talk about how disease is BS, okay? It truly is. I know you've heard me say that before, but what I'm going to actually do is, today I'm going to talk about complex regional pain syndrome. A patient just called me, and that's what one of her family members has. Oh my God, no. Okay, and then we're also going to talk about morning sickness. I dealt with a client this morning about morning sickness as well, if you want to know where it's from. And then guess what? I just want to say this, that I totally am on your side when you decide not to believe in anything I say, when you decide that I'm full of it, BS, dysfunctional belief systems myself. I'm okay with that. Because understand, you cannot program human beings for thousands of years and expect to say something that is totally off the grid and they're going to embrace you, Darryl. What are you, nut job? I know I am. The reality is I understand that I shouldn't be embraced, but I just want you to just take this in, that 1 and 1 are 2, they're actually not 11. And I'm going to say this again. Go watch my I'm Going to Rock Your World with Rockefeller. It's a 20-minute actual report that he wrote up to all the other psychos to tell them what we're going to do to the herd. That would be me and you, but we don't have to be part of the herd if we want to break away from the herd, okay? Also, watch Medical Mafia if you've never done it before. But let's jump right into this, okay? Just know this, though, for those of you that would like to join me, I'll be giving a free lecture in the Royal and Hotel, Kelowna, British Columbia, Bernard Street, 6 o'clock if you want to meet and greet and say hello to me. 7 o'clock I'll start the lecture. We'll go live on all my platforms. So you can join us there if you would like, everyone, because we are family, right? Right? What does that even mean to you, family? Seriously, okay? Now, let's get right to it. So I will also be heading off to Vancouver Island. I'm doing a private professional training for a couple medical professional people on how to pull fibroids apart. See, the world is opening up. The medical profession is opening up to natural health care. And these gentlemen and women, they actually now realize, even being in the medical health field, that fibroids are made out of scar tissue and displaced calcium, which was created by inflammation, which was created by infection, which was created by physical infection, but before that was created by emotional infection because you're headed in the wrong direction, because your belief systems are dysfunctional. Oh, yes, they are. So I tell people that there is no such thing as disease because there isn't. Do you know what a disease is? Disease is caused by going to a practitioner that doesn't understand body talk and that the body is signaling the host and saying you're out of alignment on an emotional, mental, physical level, and you don't know how to eat, drink, or think properly. And this is not putting anybody down because guess what? We've been programmed to go down. We've been programmed to be sold off by the pound. So anyways, I get called by a client of mine and a patient, whatever you want to call them. And she says to me, I don't know if you can help me or not, but one of my relatives was just diagnosed with complex regional pain syndrome. 1 second, I got to grab my phone. See, now you know that it's live. Okay? All right, so are you ready for this? What is complex regional pain syndrome? Okay, first of all, let me just say this, okay? Let me tell you. Let's make all the little people feel dumb and little, that they have little brains. They cannot think. Understand something. A medical doctor doesn't even know what this is until they're told that it's a new illness. I mean, really? You think that medical practitioners, the ones that wear the white coats, are so intelligent? Do they have a lot of information? Yes. Do they have a lot of information that boggles your mind? Yes, because it's not logical. It's totally crazy. Okay, it's crazy. Okay, so here we go. Let me just bring this up again. Where was that? Did it leave? Yes, it did. One session, okay, of complex regional pain syndrome. All right. So here we go. 1 second. This is from the Mayo Clinic. Complex regional pain syndrome, which is called CRPS. Didn't you know that? Oh, you're so stupid. You don't even know what CRPS is? Well, either did I. Did I even know what complex regional pain syndrome was when she asked me? No, I just went, I don't know. Because guess what? They make this stuff up every week. I would have to just spend my time down the rabbit hole with all their made up diseases, okay? All right? Or I could just spend my time getting to work and really helping you take massive personal action to heal yourself. Complex regional pain syndrome is a form of chronic pain. Whoa, breakthrough. That usually affects an arm or a leg. Whoa. Okay, who would know that, eh? CRPS, now we can short form it because we're so cool. CRPS typically develops after an injury, a surgery, a stroke, a heart attack. The pain is out of proportion to the severity of the initial injury. Now, here's the deal. So whenever you have a physical or emotional trauma go on in your life, and surgery is one of the biggest traumas in the world, okay? Understand that, okay? You are going to have trauma to the cells. What happens? Well, when you have trauma to the cells, you pump a lot of adrenaline and cortisol into the body, very acidic, causing inflammation, scar tissue formation. So understand, a lot of people call me up and go, you know what? They said my nerves are dead. No, they're not. What happens is the nerves get calcified. That's why you have the sharp pains. But the scar tissue, when it wraps around it, that chokes them off, it numbs them out. Your nerve, okay, guys, when you no longer feel in a certain area of your body, it's the same thing. How many people know that when you sit on your foot, the muscles don't fall asleep? You actually, the joint got tightened up too much and there was crystallization or scar tissue there, and it actually pushed on the nerve. So now there's no nerve stimulation or communication happening. So that's why your foot goes to sleep. And then when you take when you get up off your foot, or when you sleep and your arm falls asleep, this is all about nerve numbing. And the nerve numbing is because you have too much scar tissue, crystallization and calcification there. I can prove it to you. You can go in there with Wolf non-surgical and a Cellsonic and totally reverse it. Yesterday we had a party here for the staff, and I worked on 5 different staff members, and some of them had, and these are my staff in Kelowna, British Columbia, and some of them had like shoulder pain, sciatica problem, knee problem, 2 knee problems. Okay, one had tinnitus, and I worked on all of them. And I'm telling you right now, if we didn't totally reverse it, we reversed it by 80 or 90%. I want to tell you something. They're lying to you continually. So understand this. Complex regional pain syndrome, okay, is just another way to sell another drug. And the reality is, if you don't want to do something like get a perfect day consultation, to have a guide or someone to teach you how the body talks to you, you're going to be running in circles for the rest of your life. How would you like to pay $150 and understand something? My Perfect Day Guide is the most powerful self-care, self-love, take action book that you can read. And I don't care, we're talking fever all the way to stage 4 inflammation, which is cancer. So for $150, you'll get a consultation. You can think this is a pitch, but how much money do you think's left over after I pay the consultant and I pay all the fees of the phones and everything else? It's called, let's get the information out there. Let's empower every person. How would you like to get a consult and then lifetime support? How would you like to be so intelligent that you are, you're more than intelligent, which means you're logical now, okay? And you haven't been BS to the point that you don't know what to think or how to look after your body. And that's the truth. Okay, so I'm going to be going to Vancouver Island to do that professional training. Then I'm going to be heading to Calgary, and in Calgary we're going to be doing a whole life coach certification and a Wolf non-surgical certification and a pelvic women's restoration, which is only 3 days. So the 9-day whole life coach certification only has room for one more, and it's just north of Calgary in Adrie. So you can call me if you want it, 469-861-9454, or you could call my staff at 855-900-4544, or you could go to BHN University. That's where all our courses are, and you can see where I'm going and what I'm up to. And so that course is 9 days. Then we have a day off, and then we do the Wolf non-surgical body work, which is the most powerful body work in the world. I don't mind any other body worker want to come on here and challenge me. I would love to do that. Or any body worker that hasn't been able to help their patient, I will work on them for free, okay? And we will promise you that by doing the non-surgical, okay, and we might even kick in some cell-sonic, we're going to show that in the first treatment, we're going to do more than all the other treatments put together. So people can say Dr. Wolf has a big mouth, he overpromises. I'm going to tell you something. That's not the case. The case is that 99% of the practitioners out there have been taught really poor strategies and really poor techniques, because understand there's 100 times more natural health practitioners than there is medical people, and people are only getting sicker. What does that tell you? And I want to ask you, how many other practitioners did you go to that offered you a money-back guarantee on the first treatment they were going to do more than the rest, or give you a consultation for $150, and if you don't think that we delivered more than we gave you, we'll give you a money-back guarantee, and all we want to know is how we failed you. That's it, okay? Because we need to learn, we need to grow as well so that we can help everyone. So I hope you get that. So I'm going to be doing, and in Calgary, there's room for 3 more in the non-surgical course, and there's room for 6 more in the 3-day pelvic course for women, which will blow your mind if you're a woman. From there, I go to Australia, and we do the same thing in Coffs Harbour. Then from there, I come back and I set up my university and my new clinic in Puerto Rico. Whether you believe it or not, we have had the approval from the finance minister, the health minister, okay, the educational minister, the agricultural minister, and the tourism minister of Puerto Rico to come. They want us. They love what we're doing. And hey, come on. You know, seriously, people say, why did you leave Mexico? Well, because in Mexico, that was boot camp for me. I went and set up one of the biggest clinics in Mexico, and it was at Ixtapa Palace. We poured everything into it. If I didn't have so much passion and purpose, I would have been crushed. Between the resort owners ripping us off, between a lot of people who were jealous and envious. Jealousy and envy is really not a great thing, you know? When I was in Mexico, it was like we were all on our own, you know what I mean? Like we were like swimming with the alligators. When we go to Puerto Rico, we have the backing of the government, and also we just had our program. We have a financial program, the same one that the elite use, so that they don't have to pay taxes and just use their 4% for nonprofit. We have the same program. You may have heard of him, maybe you didn't. His name is Dr. Ben. And Dr. Ben, he was invited to the Supreme Court. He turned it down. He speaks at United Nations. He is one of my best friends. He is the one who has created this program that all of our patients, all of our clients, all of our practitioners can get a corporation in Puerto Rico and never pay more than 4% tax legally. And understand something, everyone. If it was illegal and I was up to something, somebody would have said something. They can't, because it's a true story. And understand something. BraveHeart Nation, okay, is going to be delivering the best education, the best financial support. I just told you that. We're also going to be giving the best trainings. We're opening up a university there. We're opening up, I want to believe it's going to be a 5-star clinic, okay? And we're going to be also showing the world on how no more bees have to die. We discovered how to turn it around with magnets, and where not only do they not die, but they're stronger than ever before, and they actually double in volume, okay, that they actually have to split the hives every season. We're going to show people how to do permaculture. We're going to show people how to actually use electroculture in making sure that the chemtrail doesn't spew all over their property. We're going to be bringing you the most intelligent, beautiful, health healing people around the world on my app, which will be out in 6 months to 8 months. It is called BraveHeart. And on the BraveHeart app will be free, 90% of it, and it'll all be just trainings to you. If you go to my library, which is called BHN Library, okay, bhnlibrary.com or braveheartnationlibrary.com, you'll see if you were to dive in there and you were to, I want every natural health practitioner, every medical practitioner to go in and dive into my library and tell me that you've learned more somewhere else. You haven't. Okay, just even go in and take a look at the emotional chemistry of cancer, disease, and healing, and I guarantee you're going to get a wake-up call. Or how to become number one at the art of number two. Okay, or you could go in and actually take a look at reverse the irreversible, and then you'll find out that all 98% of all surgery is BS, dysfunctional belief system. Every one of you that have had surgery, I guarantee you that only 1 or 2 out of 100 of you actually really needed the surgery. You actually could have turned it around. You forgot that your body will heal itself. Let's talk about morning sickness right now. Okay, so I got a call this morning of a beautiful lady, and I did a live consult on her on Real People, Real Healing about 3 weeks ago. And anyway, so she's really nauseous and she can't eat. Meanwhile, I did the consult on her 3 weeks ago, and the master trainer that's looking after her, okay, she paid $150 for a consult. She gets lifetime support now, right? So anyways, so now she calls me up and says, oh, she can't eat. She's nauseous all the time. And I said, she's not doing the program. Okay, all right, her bowels aren't moving. I told her to do the warm water enemas with the black diamond in, because there's no problem even if you're pregnant in doing those. I said to get on the daily cleansing tea, and I told her to back off of the dairy and the animal products, and she hasn't yet. So understand the reason why she's nauseous, and you can believe it or not, but guess what? Science my butt, will you? Just science my butt. Okay, I am really lovingly ready for anyone who wants to challenge me on anything I have to say, because then if I can't be challenged, then I shouldn't even open my mouth. And the reality is this: when a woman has, okay, morning sickness, it's because she's backed up. Too much mucus plaque in her bowel, too much fecal waste stagnating, and she's corked up. And she can say, well, I do go to the bathroom. No, it's the transit time. Your body's saying, listen, right by your belly button, okay, right in that area, you've got a little spirit being that has just been infused into this fetus. And understand something, right now your abdomen, okay, is a swamp. It's not a cultivated garden for a new spirit being to come into your abdomen and live there for 9 months. It is a toxic waste dump. Stagnation, okay, creates infection, which creates inflammation. And what? You actually think that if a woman's not constipated, if a woman eats inflammatory foods, which almost every pregnant woman does, because guess what? You can go to your medical doctor, your gynecologist, and guess what? They don't talk anything about diet. They might talk about prenatal vitamins, but guess what? There's not a prenatal vitamin on the planet that is better than my Synonian minerals, which we're changing the name to the Perfect Day Multi. They can't even come close to it, okay? So the reality is here is, you know what? The medical system are great at emergency care, but how often do you need it? I haven't been to a doctor since I was in my 20s, okay? And you can say, whoa, what a nut job. You know, it's just like everybody calling me, Dr. Wolf, I just had my blood tested and there's a mysterious bacteria in there. Well, there's a mysterious bacteria in everyone. The reality is, go get all the tests you want, okay, and drive yourself crazy, or get yourself a Perfect Day consult. Dive, or don't do that, and don't give us any money. Dive into my library and watch all the videos, okay, and then go, this guy's a fraud. I want to come on a show. Well, guess what? I won't turn you down. Do you know why I talk like this? It's so that the majority of the population know that they've been ruled, schooled, and fooled. and that all diseases are just symptoms of going to a practitioner that doesn't know what they're talking about. Doesn't know what they're talking about. And that would be 99 out of 100 practitioners. And that, whether you want to talk about medical care or health care, natural health care. And I'm not blaming them. I'm not blaming them. Because little do you know, the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, the Carnegies, the Queen of England, okay, the royal family, they go back thousands and thousands of years, okay, and they were handled the golden keys. And do you know what their job is? To look after us? Are you like crazy? Their job is to be our jailers. Their job is to stop us, okay, from rising, to stop us from becoming enlightened. Yeah, really. You do know why they put fluoride in water and in toothpaste, don't you? So that it will calcify your pineal gland so you don't have any higher learning. I hope why don't you look it up, pineal gland. Find out what it really truly is. Find out why there's a corner store on every corner that is the smallest but most powerful cancer-causing, autoimmune creating building in the world. Why do you think that the Canadian government and in the American government are now allowing everybody to smoke and toke their brains out? Because they can pass laws when you go, well, man, what just happened? Really? Cool. That's so cool. Yeah, everything's just so cool. You know what? I'm going to tell you, this is the only reason why they're letting us smoke that cannabis. Okay? And understand something. Vaping is worse than smoking. Okay? All right? There is a chemical in vaping, okay, that goes in and eats holes in your brain and creates Alzheimer's so fast that it will shock you. Just do your homework. Do your homework. Let me tell you something. Too bad that we have so many people with so many different religions because we hate each other. Too bad, okay? Too bad about that because religion divides us, okay? Tell me one religion that says that all the rest are great, okay? Let me tell you something. Become a spirit being, okay? Mind your own business in the way of doing what? Loving and caring for yourself, okay? Understand that. You know what? Stop the war here so we can stop the war out here, please, okay? And start taking your life back. I am going to keep on offering as much as I can, as close as I can to helping you financially, that you're not spending tons of money, okay? The reality is that healthcare is not free, but my library's free. Are you like crazy? Yeah, absolutely. I am crazy. Okay? And this person says, seriously? Yes, seriously. So understand this, for me not to disrupt 80% of the people that come on, it doesn't mean that they're going to stay disrupted. When you actually wake up to the fact that loving and caring for yourself is the most important thing, then you'll head there, okay? So morning sickness. If we were to be able to get every woman that is pregnant or going to get pregnant to get her bowels, okay, to move properly. But that would be teaching her how to do what? Food combining properly. Don't mix proteins and starches together, okay? Don't eat glicky, sticky foods. Don't eat inflammatory foods. Okay, make sure that you're taking in enough water to hydrate. Make sure that it could be structured water, the best, and then even warm water. Okay, do warm water enemas if you start to get sluggish with black diamonds so that you can suck up all these heavy metals and this acidity. And the other thing is guess what? Are you ready for this? I told this woman, because she was so nauseous and she's having dry heaving, and she was having it for 2 days off and on. I said, this is not good. This is traumatizing. This is traumatizing the fetus. Well, what should I do? I said, you need to do the therapeutic vomiting. So I told her how to do therapeutic vomiting with warm water and a little bit of black diamond. I said, go do this and then come back to me. Okay, come back to me and let me know. She goes, yeah, but I was told that, throwing up might hurt the baby. I said, What do you think is going to hurt the baby is the toxicity and you being traumatized by not being able to clear out what you have swallowed. So when you are also, remember something, when you're also having morning sickness, it's also fear and stress, okay, and anxiety that you swallowed, but you can't digest it. So by doing the therapeutic vomiting, we'll clean out the mucus, we'll clean out any of the acidity that's in there, but we'll also remember that water holds information, and we're actually going to get rid of the actual emotions that you swallowed that you can't process properly. Ayahuasca taught my body to purge when the emotions get too intense. Well, that's right, but you can't do ayahuasca all the time. And the reality is if you go by your gut, if you go by your instinct, your innate ability to tune into yourself on an emotional level, you would know when to do therapeutic vomiting. And you wouldn't just do a purging. You want to make sure that you drink enough warm water, okay, warm to hot water, to go in and soak it, to massage it, and then how to actually do it. And you'll see that I lay it all out in my Perfect Day guide, all right? But the reality is there's a right way to do therapeutic vomiting, and I'll tell you, most of us need to do therapeutic vomiting on an emotional level because of all of the stuff we had to swallow that we knew wasn't true. All right. I want to thank everybody for joining me. I'm going to be coming back on here with Jason. Jason is he's a master practitioner out of Calgary. I'm going to be doing some, like I said, trainings there. But we're going to be talking to Jason about his practice and about how it's going with working with his clients' patients. And understand something, everyone. There's a practitioner in all of us. There's a genius in all of us. And you really want to know how to tap into that. Now when I cry really hard, I throw up. Well, make sure that you don't throw up until you try to drink at least 12 to 16 ounces of warm water. Don't just throw up because you're going to actually cause damage to your trachea, your lungs, and even your heart, all that acidity. The water is the key, and then the throwing up is not this horrendous, burning, traumatizing event, and you're actually therapeutically doing something for yourself. If I vomited every time I was overwhelmed emotionally, I would be puking all day. So, Maureen, I'm going to tell you that you need to take a BraveHeart healing circle or my whole life coach. And I'm telling you, this will turn it around. This means that basically everything hurts you. This means that you are totally fearful. Okay, this means that you have no confidence in yourself. Okay, and this means that you are going to have one hell of a ride for the rest of your life. Because if you don't change this personality, which is not your personality, because remember something, everyone. A personality is only created by beliefs. So this belief, this belief, this belief, we put it together, we get a personality. My personality is nothing like I was 25 years ago. My personality is changes by 1% every day. I keep on going in and I keep observing what I need to get rid of that no longer serves me. And I keep on going in to work and see, am I still holding resentment for any type of group or anything in my life, because I need to get rid of that. You have to understand something. Take a look at what you don't like. Take a look at what you hate. Those are the things that are creating these illnesses. I can't stomach you. You make me sick to my stomach. My heart is broken. My heart's in pieces. My heart is empty. Okay? You give me a headache. All right? Understand this. So don't ever think that the emotional doesn't rule the physical, because it does. I have purchased a Perfect Day Consultation. If I have CFS and respiratory problems, who should I schedule a consultation with? Well, I would do it with either Sandra or Lorraine, okay? That's who I would do it with, okay? And feel free to call me too if you've got any questions, especially after you've done the consult. You utilize them and you can utilize me as well. Remember something, I work for you, okay? All right? I don't see any other questions here. If not, I'm going to move on because I've got lots to do. Is there an example of coffee enema on your site? Please go to DIY Guide And we tell you exactly how to do the ultimate coffee enema. You don't want to do a coffee enema. You want to do the ultimate coffee enema where you're dumping all of these terrible toxins and chemicals from your liver, but you're sucking them up so that they don't go back into your circulation. So that's the key. I would volunteer myself for a free bodywork treatment because it sounds so interesting. I don't know where you live, Janice, but you can come to one of my works, or if you want to come sometime where I am, we could do a live. That's the way I do it because I want to share the information. I have people coming on all the time for real people, real healing, because I want to prove that what I say is true. Okay? Let me see. Do you understand what high lymphocytes are caused by? They want me to have loads of tests. Oh yeah, I can. And are you ready for this? Remember something. Okay, lots of lymphocytes is actually because you have so much infection in you. If you want to give me a call, Sharon, 469-861-9454. I'll actually do a live on here called Real People, Real Healing with you. But just know this, I guarantee that you're probably overweight. I guarantee that your bowels do not move properly and you don't drink enough water. Okay, those are the first few things. Okay, believe it or not, the things that really matter most of the times do not cost you money. And to have lymphocytes means that you have stagnation, which means that also, Sharon, do you have a trouble letting go things? Because when you have trouble letting go, of course you don't go, do you? Okay, and remember something, lymphocytes, okay? So let's talk about the lymph. So the lymph, you've got 12 quarts of lymph and 8 pints of blood. Now your 12 quarts of lymph, they move like molasses. So if you jammed up in your bowel, then your lymph system doesn't dump. If your lymph system doesn't dump properly and the waste doesn't come out, then your body has to make all these lymphocytes, or else you could go to what? Lymphoma, okay? And understand that. So you need a perfect day consult. If you want, you can give me a call, okay? Let me see what else we got here, if we have anything. Nothing there. And I can't read these other ones, so... And nothing over here. All right, so what else did I want to talk about? Oh, there was one other thing, and that is, so I had a 16-year-old girl ask me this morning if I would do this, so I'll just mention this right now. She's having painful periods. I said to her, so what are your bowel movements like? And she said, well, I go once a day, and sometimes I go once every second day, and sometimes it might be once every 3 days. And I said to her, painful periods are caused because when the period comes, you're sloughing off the egg. But the thing about having a period is every month for a woman, she's getting rid of the worst toxins in her body. So they're all coming from all over the body and they're heading towards the pelvis. And if we already have stagnation in the pelvis because your large intestine doesn't move properly, that means you're absorbing the waste into your pelvic bowl when the infection comes, because you're getting rid of all that infection when you have that monthly period. Okay, you already have inflammation in there. I said what happens is the infection eats up the oxygen. When it eats up the oxygen, you get these severe cramping, spasms, and you also will get the blood clotting. Okay, I said, so what you need to do, so she's going to get a consult from Cimarron. Okay, so she's going to get a perfect day consult from her, and I guarantee you, I said to her, worst case scenario, all those pains will be gone in 6 weeks. So maybe not your first period, but your second period, the only reason why you'll know that you have it is because of the redness, and it won't because of the moodiness, because a lot of the moodiness is because of the toxicity. So understand, women go out of hormonal balance, and you're not trying to mess with the hormones. You got to bring down the acidity, bring yourself back to alignment on a physical and emotional level, and you won't have those hormonal problems. People don't like me saying this. They don't want to believe it. But understand, most hormonal problems are due to being out of balance mentally, emotionally first, okay? And then the next would be, because if you are in fight flight, you're dumping adrenaline and cortisol and histamine. That's very acidic. You whack your hormones out of balance, okay? And that's what you do. So you go ahead and do all the hormonal therapy that you want. Try to mess with your hormones. But guess what? That's only like putting the fire, trying to dim the fire out over here. And understand something. That wasn't the problem. That was just the effect of not being in alignment with yourself on an emotional, nutritional, and detox level, okay? I want to thank everybody for joining me. I'm going to scoot right now. I'll be back on with Jason at around 2 o'clock, all right? Thanks for joining me.